class. Today we are going to be reading a story called Lambslide. But before we begin, we're going to go over a few things. Remember, this is the front cover, this is the spine, and this is the back cover. So the title of the story is Lambslide. The first name up here says Ann Patchett, and Ann Patchett is the author. I want you to think for a second what the author of a story does. Remember, the author of the story writes the words. Down at the bottom, we see this name, Robin Priest Glasser, and that is the illustrator. Think again, what does the illustrator of a story do? The illustrator draws the pictures. All right, let's begin. On the farm, there was a flock of lambs who believed the sun came up in the morning because they were ready to get up and play, and set at night because they were sleepy and ready for bed. They thought the grass grew to please them, and the rain fell to annoy them. And the only reasons butterflies fluttered is so lambs could chase them. Everything was about the lambs as far as the lambs were concerned. One day, Nicolette Farmer announced to her farmer family, "I'm going to run for class president today." Mrs. Farmer said, "You'll win by a landslide." This meant her mother thought she'd win by a lot. But the lambs thought she said, "You'll win by a landslide." This was exciting news. "Where's the landslide?" the lambs asked their mother. "There is no landslide," their mother said. "Now will you please let me finish eating the lawn?" The lambs were disappointed. They wanted a landslide. "Every place we have to play is too flat," said the lamb. "No one can have fun in a flat meadow." "The pigs get to play in the mud," the second lamb said. "We never get to play in the mud." "That's because we aren't supposed to get our wool dirty," said the third lamb. The third lamb always did exactly as he was told. "The horses get to go on fun rides with the farmers. We never get to go anywhere." The grumpy group of lambs went back to their mother. She knew the answer to pretty much everything. "How do we get a landslide?" they asked. "First," she said, "you should see what the other animals think." This seemed like a good idea, so the lambs went to the chicken coop. "Do you think we should have a landslide?" the lambs asked the chicken. "I don't know," said the chicken. "Who would pay for it?" The lambs hadn't thought about this. "The farmers," they said, because the farmers paid for everything. Lambs didn't have money. "It's all right with me," said the chicken, "as long as it doesn't mean I get less chicken feed." "Do you think we should have a landslide?" the lambs asked a goat. "Would goats be able to go on the slide?" the goat inquired. The lambs hadn't thought about this, but they didn't see why not. "It's going to be a very big landslide. There will be plenty of room for everyone." "Then it sounds like loads of fun to me," answered the goat. "Do you think we should have a landslide?" the lambs asked a pig. "Will it cover up any of my muddy places?" asked the pig. The lambs hadn't thought about where the landslide would go. They looked around the farm. "It will be built right next to the barn," they said with authority. "There's no mud there," said the pig, "so a landslide is fine with me." Now that the chicken and the goat and the pig had agreed that a landslide would be a positive addition to the farm, the lambs asked their mother what they should do next. "What do you think you should do next?" asked their mother, who thought lambs should figure out for themselves whenever possible. "Eat clover?" asked the first lamb. "Run through the field?" asked the second lamb. "Ask the farmers," said the third lamb. "I think letting the farmers know how you feel is the best idea," said their mother. So the lambs decided to make some signs for the farmers, but they weren't very good at it. So Nicolette helped them when she returned home. She was, after all, now the president of her class. The farmers looked at the signs. They were impressed that the lambs had thought things through so carefully. The farmers decided that the whole farm should vote on whether or not there would be a landslide. When all the votes were counted, the landslide had won by a landslide. Remember, landslide means a lot. So, when all the votes were counted, the Lambslide had won by a lot. Mr. and Mrs. Farmer thought about how to make the landslide strong enough for the cows and wide enough for the horses. It needed to be long enough and fast enough to make it fun for the lambs. They put a big soft haystack at the bottom so everyone would have a nice landing. The lambs went down the landslide again and again and again. This looks like so much fun. When they were too tired to climb the hill even one more time, they all cuddled up with their mother. "I think lambs should have a swimming pool with a diving board," one of the lambs said, yawning as she fell asleep. "Shush," her mother said, "and be happy." All right, so I want you guys at home to think about a time during class that we as a class have had to make a decision and maybe we took a vote on something. So think about that and maybe share with your brother, your sister, aunt, uncle, sibling, mom, dad, whoever's at home with you during this time. All right, thank you, bye.